Hans Sunken is leading the chair. And we have Jeff McWhorter. He's the newest county board member for the Democrats and for the rest of the county. Jeff, would you like to come up here and say a few words? Yeah, here we go. You can introduce your mother too. I know she's here.
Introduce my mother?
Well, you can introduce whoever you want to.
Introduce whoever I want. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for the support last election, and like Floyd said, we're trying our best in Maxine on the county board, and it's kind of a tough hole to dig out of, but we're making progress, I think. You want me to introduce Dave?
Yeah, he's your relative.
Well, he's not blood relation, but he's married to my nephew. I'd like to introduce Dave Koehler from Peoria. He wants to run for the District 17 seat in the Congress and that. And Dave, would you like to come up here?
Sure. Thank you. Do you need any more time to adjust that, or are you all right?
We're good.
Okay.
I didn't powder my head, so is it all right? Thank you very much, Jeff and Dick. And as Jeff mentioned, I'm sort of family, right? Amy and Jeff and Ganna. Jay, who's Ann's son, married my daughter Kate, and we have two lovely granddaughters. I'll show the pictures later. They would have come up with me, but they're with my wife back in Peoria right now, so I feel kind of like I'm home, and I'm going to get to know Mercer County a lot better in this next year. Thank you for inviting me to come up here. I'm running for Congress. This is a new district this year, the 17th district. It includes part of Peoria, which includes most of my state senate district. Peoria, Tazewell County, Fulton County. Fulton County is a good Democrat county. It's much like Mercer County. It goes all the way up then through Galesburg, up through the western side of the state, up to Wisconsin actually, and it comes over and picks up a little bit of the west side of Rockford. So it's a whole new district. It's a district that trends to pretty well in terms of Democrats, and this is the year to take it back. And the reason I'm running is because I think Mr. Schilling has done a great job of representing John Boehner in Congress, but that's not why we sent him there. He's supposed to be representing us, the constituents. And so we need to make sure we send a message loud and clear that what's going on right now is just not really fair to the middle class. And if you look at issues like Medicare, how can you put Medicare, and now they're talking about Social Security, on the chopping block, and then not do anything with the tax subsidies to the oil companies? And we have to say, well, where's the fairness in that? This country was built on the fact that we have a middle class like no other country in the world. And you know who built the middle class was organized labor. And we have to remember that. And so when you read things like I just read in the Washington Post this past week, that right now we are at the point where the wage disparity between the rich and the middle class is the largest it's ever been. And so the recovery is happening if you're at the top 1% and 2%. But it's not happening if you're in the middle class. And we know too many people and too many families that are out of work and that are having trouble paying the mortgage. And we have to turn that around. We can't continue to operate like this and be a superpower if we're not going to have a strong middle class. And so that's really what my whole platform is that it's got to be fair and it's got to be common sense. So I look forward to getting to know all of you. I've talked about with many of you about some of the issues here locally, but I have served, just so you know my background, I've served on the Peoria County Board for 6 years. I served on the Peoria City Council for 8 years, and I'm now in my second term in the State Senate representing the 46th District. So I have almost 20 years of experience in public sector, and I'm ready for this challenge. It's going to be a big challenge, but I'd certainly appreciate your support as we look to the primary in March, and then as we look at the election in the fall of 2012. So Jeff and Amy, you may have to get a room ready for me. But I'll be back here often. And let me introduce Eric Van Horn, who is my campaign manager. And he is fresh from Omaha, Nebraska. He's starting to know and appreciate Illinois a lot, and so we're excited about the upcoming campaign. And if any of you have any questions or whatever, I'd be happy to stay around and just talk with you privately. So, any questions that you have while I'm up here? Somebody, yeah, go ahead, Joe.
What's your feeling? You're talking about subsidies, and we're talking about trying to balance the budget. And it seems so far that the Republicans have no problem balancing the budget on the backs of senior citizens and poorer families.
Right.
What's your feeling about the Pentagon budget and where we need to cut over in that area? Since the Republicans don't seem to be wanting to do that, where do you think is the best place to go in that direction?
Well, I think that it's clear that if Obama's serious, and he's kept his word so far in terms of what he's going to do with the troop reductions. I don't have any doubt that we're going to be out of Iraq, that we're going to draw those first 5,000 troops out of Afghanistan. It means that we can afford some cuts in the Pentagon. And if we're going to look at Medicare and Social Security, why in the heck wouldn't we look at other parts of the budget? I mean, the Medicare and Social Security is a contract that we have with the American people as a government. And that's sacred to me. So I think that all that has to be on the table. Pentagon,
Thank
yes. Someone asked me a question. Who's the woman I was talking to here, Jeff?
Oh, question, Debbie?
Yeah. Yes, Debbie Maynard was asking me about negative campaigning. I've been in elected office almost 20 years. I have never run a negative campaign ad. Many were run against me. My response to that was that the experts say you should run negative ads. I said I don't believe in it. I'll run on my record, and I'll tell you who I am and what I'm about. And I had more response out of that than anything that I've ever done in terms of political advertisements. So I can't control the 527 funds. There'll be plenty of negative ads out there that I have nothing to do with, but that's the nature of politics, unfortunately. So I'm going to run a positive campaign. I'm going to run a campaign on what my record is, what my background is, and I'm just going to go out there and shake a lot of hands and talk to a lot of people. That's how you win elections. Yeah. Debbie, was that all right?
What's your views on veterans benefits?
Oh, Phil Hare has done a wonderful job in terms of representing veterans, and I would follow suit. We have to. Our veterans, we ask them to, aside of what your political position is on confrontations and wars, when our veterans go to war, we have an obligation to them. And I've been to, too many funerals, and I know too many wounded veterans that are coming back, and we have to absolutely be there for them. So I think that we ought to live up to our obligation as a government and say that when you come back, if you need special assistance, then we owe that to you. So veterans benefits are something we have to make sure that we live up to. So, well, with that, I don't want to take up too much more of your lunch. I appreciate the invitation to be here. I will see you often in the next year and a half and beyond that. When in Congress, we will have offices in Peoria, Rockford, and Rock Island. So, we will be near, and if you need to get a hold of me, and I'm going to help you out on one of the airport issues with Mercer County. I work with Mike Jacobs in the Senate, and we will help you resolve that issue as well. But thank you very much.